Good afternoon and welcome to Nkhani Zathu Our Stories radio program. This program comes to you every Tuesday at 13:30 to 14 hours on Pan-African Radio. The reason why this platform exists is for creators, writers, authors, producers, and readers, as well as other stakeholders to come on board, discuss the Zambian, African, the Zambian and African literary and arts sector. Which is why today on Nkhani Zathu we are discussing cultural heritage preservation. I am your host, Rina Kasongo, and we are hosting today. We have on board Miss Agness Yombwe, who is an artist among other things. I am just going to allow her to introduce herself and tell us who she is.
Good afternoon, everybody. Yes, my name is Agness Buya Yombwe. I'm a mixed media visual artist, and we do stuff in the gallery. We co-direct in the gallery with my husband in Livingston and the children. So apart from being artists, the whole family, we actually artists, but then as we run the gallery, we do art classes, we showcase tradition, culture in Busa. For the Bemba people, we do mentorship classes, we support one of our partners, and many other things.
Interesting. So even the children also are.
Yes. In fact, the whole family, we are all art teacher trained. Yeah, except one of us who is a fanatic, but he's also very good in art.
Okay. So do they also help with this?
Yes, they do. They not necessarily them, because our setup is in such a way that part of the place we have space for artists that want to come and do their work, like an art residency, and that is also artists not just in Zambia but all over. And then the next room we have like a craft shop. We also have another space which is like a classroom. So every Saturday we have about 30 children that come for mentorship. So two of our children, Kangwa and Songa, are now running the main teachers for the mentorship program. And then every end of the month, Kangwa Diande, they do paint and sip. Then the other space, we have space just for our work. Then we have because I do mixed media art, I recycle. So we have like storage for things, discarded materials, bottles, boxes, bombs, all those things. You'll find them readily available in one room. And then the next room, that's where we house now the Busa, the artifacts for the Bemba people. Since we got married in 91, we worked with a number of Vanachimbusa. In fact, from 91, 95, we decided to do research with Vanachimbusa. That's how we started collecting, because we thought this is a tradition which is actually dying, and a lot of people say they are Christians and then they don't want to do it. So we thought, okay, as artists, can we focus on marriage and see how we can help and showcase some of these things?
Okay. Yes. So to the person listening, I am holding this interesting craft. It's an owl, and with the way Madam Agnes describes it, it's where people are reminded to look in every angle so that they don't forget anything about their daily tasks and things like that. It's a very interesting depiction of an owl, I would say. Please come into Lenchway Gallery so that you can know what I'm actually saying. Now that we're talking about cultural heritage preservation, in your own words, what is cultural heritage preservation?
In my own words, it's our tradition. I'm Tumbuk actually, Fungwe, from Mwenechi Fungwe, which is in Kuchika. Then I got married to my husband in December. So at some point, I actually went to research on my culture and tradition. I wanted to know that what did the Fungwe, what kind of art, what kind of they used to do, what kind of pots and all those things. So culture and tradition, heritage, it talks about like the way we deliberately decided to keep artifacts from Busa. We are preserving them, so that that culture does not die. The future generation, can learn and something from it. Yes.
Okay.
That's the best example I can give. That is one of the things we are doing because our art is focused around marriage issues, but social issues and all those things. We are not Panachimbusa, but we do it from an art point of view.
Interesting. Now, just to take it back a little bit, in your introduction, you had said you are a mixed media
artist. Yes.
What does that entail?
If somebody comes in this space, which is a leisure trust gallery, you'll find that I've used a variety of materials. So when you come home, I actually can design the jewelry. You can find a section where you can buy that. You can, here, behind me there's fabric. I've done painting on fabric. I work on wood. I can do lino, on paper. I can mix lino with other materials. I can make my own handmade paper and paint on it. So I use, I can also do sculpture using not just wood, but found objects, things which are discarded. So I'm able to go look for, I find beauty in things which people don't want to use. To create my art as well.
Interesting. So that is what basically a mixed media visual art.
Yes. So sometimes you can mix, your painting, you mix instead of just painting with acrylic, maybe you add the kachitenge here, a paper here, something, you stick something, so that also is a mixed media. Yes.
Okay. So again, in your own words, what is the importance of cultural heritage preservation?
The important is that we won't be lost as a people, because what cultural heritage does is it brings us together, as a community. That's why when there's a function, maybe it's at initiation or it's marriage, you see how community comes together and say, no, as we are to look at, we don't do this. Because why? They've preserved that which they believe is their culture. Then you find the Aussies also there saying, no, us as Aussies, we do this. Us as Tongas, we do this. So that is what makes us as a people. Yes.
Okay. So basically, it's also a way in which we can identify with ourselves.
Yes, yes.
I know you briefly talked about when you started back in the 90s, your husband and mom. But what has been the main inspiration in what you're doing currently?
So the main inspiration currently, that what I've been doing is to try and share, about the owl, but using the symbols of the Musa. Because I've seen that in our tradition, not just Zambia, world over, an owl is really feared. It's associated with witchcraft. It's the people see it as the bad omen and many other things.
One was scared of owls. I am as well until today when I'm being able to hold this and not be scared.
Yes, a lot of people. So it has been an interesting journey because about 3 years ago I noticed a pattern in an e-book book, of Musa, and it was written the owl. So that's what triggered my current journey. So in my research I found that yes, an owl is actually used as a teaching in Musa. And one of the teachings is that all of us must be able to turn our heads 270 degrees and scan what we are doing, our environment, and make sure everything is in order. And especially if you're a married woman, you have a house, you have to make sure that it's in top notch. You have to be observant, sitting quietly as an owl, and check every detail. Maybe there are wrong things going on in your house amongst the children. You can't even tell because you're not, patient enough to scan what's happening. So you have to behave like an owl, scan, quietly, turn your head 270 degrees. Then you're able to catch one or two things that is happening, which shouldn't really happen in the house. And also, it also encourages a married couple that stay together. One of you should not be a night owl when your partner is there. And then as I continued researching, I found that the owl, in some places, it's regarded to be very wise, in some places very foolish, but at the same time, some people actually eat it. And yes, and in some places, yes.
I've never heard that I've never heard of that's my first time.
And in some parts, even of Africa, some people actually use it as medicine, treatment for different parts of the body. Yeah, so it's very important that we take note And to give the owl some love, it's just a bird. Yes.
I'm trying to give the owl some love, but for now. Anyway, this program comes to you by Sojourn Publishers in collaboration with Nkhani Radio. Sojourn Publishers' aim is to produce and market African and Zambian stories, thereby enhancing the vision of ensuring that these stories present for future generations and for us to enjoy our own stories, which is what we're doing right now. We're discussing about cultural heritage preservation, and we're understanding better why certain things exist differently from how we had imagined in our society. That is what Nkhani Zathu does for me. Moving forward, I know you've talked about how you've been creating different artifacts and developing classes in Winston, but really, how are you involved generally in preserving traditional stories and crafts in communities?
Okay, so our space is one that we work with a lot of different women, and when they come, they showcase what they do. So one of those preserving stories is people feel when we are sharing the Musa story, it's one of those. They're actually very excited and happy because the Musa is something which is very secretive. We are not supposed to share it, and as initiates, we know that. So what we've actually done is we've been able to just pick a bit. It might have 100 meanings, and then we just say, this is on communication. This is a mat. A mat has many things that it does. But then you just tell them, you have to rest. When you're tired in your bedroom, you rest. So for us, as we are doing that, we found that this culture actually comes alive, when you're talking about GBV issues, also when you're talking about HIV. So if you see, there are many examples here. For example, those two snakes fighting. You just tell the story that now when the couplet has been brought, my daughter, stay away from others, focus on one. So you don't go deep because it's much deeper than this. Yes. Okay.
So it's where you use your craft to also bring out a certain message.
Yeah. So
happening in society.
Yes.
Also, like what people need to work on is their communication.
Yes.
Addressing GBV.
Yes. So the paintings that we do are strategically in that line of that. So you might find that you pick one of the pots, maybe it's Mundu, the lion, it's on communication, but it has many other things. So you emphasize just the pot. If maybe you're talking about a lion, you turn the Mundu into a lion. And when people are coming, I say, but how come? This is a lion. And then you tell them, this lion is a pot called Mundu. It's talking about communication. Make decisions together. But deep down, you as the person sharing, you know that you can go deeper. So as we are doing that, we are letting people know that really this is our culture and tradition. And those people that are member that have run away from their culture and tradition, they're saying, then they start looking forward, to go and do their culture and tradition. Yes.
I like that. I didn't know that is how you address some of these things.
Yeah, no, we actually do that. When GBV issues, we address that. Things about cleanliness, hygiene, all that is talked about.
Okay.
Yes.
So how would you say you are bridging the gap between history and present day identity?
Yeah. We are living it. We are living it, and the good part is that we just don't do it ourselves. We have mentorship classes. So the children that we mentor come, they do the cultural tour, then you tell them, for example, like if you are showing them seeds, you tell them our tradition, this Bemba tradition, any other tradition in Zambia, they like a lazy person. So they encourage you to be productive. Even the boys, we actually do boys and girls. Then we have to tell them that there isn't any, boys need love, so do the girls. And then boys should also learn to do the girls' work. And the girls should learn. So you teach them all those things. And then you find that even their appreciation is better. Like the ones we have right now. The boys actually wear pink t-shirts, the girls, gray t-shirts. They are saying that, look, we can work together actually in a better way than saying this is for a girl, this is for a boy. So in that case, a lot of new skills, a lot of, they also bring out some of what they learn in their tradition, and then we're able to, like discuss and find that all things are related. And some people even ask when they come here that why the symbols? I'm like, these are everyday things. When you wake up, you're expected to wash your face, brush your teeth, comb your hair. I'll show them that one is just talking about cleanliness. Take care of your body. What is this? Oh, this is the mat. When you're tired, you sit there. So it's emphasizing that make sure your room is clean and you can go there and rest anytime. But deep down, I know that this thing has 100 meanings, but it's the basic, everyday things that people do. Yeah. So we tell the story in many ways like that. Sometimes we are asked by the museum, we can go to the museum on International Museum is there. Then we'll have an Achimbusa showcasing the food. We also, and sometimes they explain a little bit about the tradition. Yes. So we are very passionate about culture and tradition.
Okay. I know you're currently hosting your art exhibition in the Parliament, which you mentioned earlier on. But for the sake of somebody out there that may say, Parliament, because the first time you mentioned Parliament, I'm like, are we now going to the National Parliament? But a lot of people don't know to say Parliament is actually a group of hours.
Yeah.
So tell us more about what is the Parliament in regards to what you're hosting?
Okay, so the Parliament is actually, for me, it's the first time I learned that it was a group of hours. But at the same time, in this sense, it's even talking about, when the traditional teachers come together. That's a parliament. It's not one woman who is talking. All the other women will contribute something to the upkeep of the people that they are teaching. And also, the parliament, is also, and not only that, all our houses, there's a family, husband, wife, children, and we make rules, isn't it?
Yes.
Those are small parliaments. So this is bringing that to light that, okay, all the parliaments can we, talk and make proper rules and not discard our culture and tradition.
And how has the Parliament been received? Or rather, received by Zambians?
Yeah, a lot of them, some are so appreciative that they've written on the comment thing there that they're now seeing the owls in a different light. Others say never, never. Yeah, they say the way it is, an owl will be an owl. It has nothing to do with the Musa and all those things. So I really appreciate the comments. It's very interesting.
I saw one comment that was saying, this is reminding me of my ex. Like, how can an owl remind you of an ex?
So I wish I had seen. The only thing is we told them not to put their names, so
they didn't.
Yeah, we're going to find out how,
Yeah, the other one was reminds me of my husband. Like how? But I also like how certain reviews were saying, I'm a night owl. Certain people are good to understand the owl saying, I'm a night person, basically, so I put the code an owl.
Yes.
But others, I know my typical Zambians will be like,
just the other day, one of my friends called. They had an hour in the afternoon in there. She says, help, the messenger is here. What should we do? I'm like, that messenger is just lost. Be calm. It can't see properly in the afternoon. Let it be. There is nothing. And stay there until night.
I'm still trying to not be scared of owls because of this discussion that I'm having today. Nkhani Zathu comes to you courtesy of Sojourn Publishers in collaboration with Pan-African Radio. Sojourn Publishers exists to produce and promote Zambian and African stories, marketing these stories, and ensuring that the Zambian and African narrative is preserved in a very desirable manner, which is why we're having discussions on cultural heritage preservation and others. So stay tuned, we're still having so much we are talking about, and moving forward, what are some of the challenges and opportunities in this new office?
Okay, so opportunities are there in the sense that you are free to create your work, you are free to sell it wherever you want. You can even come up with your own business, that is there. But the challenges which are there that many people do not appreciate art. So struggle is real. Some people are buying, and when COVID came, the scenario was worse. So we actually are not like some of our neighboring countries where there are so many places where you can get a grant. So for example, the way I'm having a solo here, I can have maybe a 2 years grant just to focus on my exhibition and all the things that have been said with that, and I just showcase. In my case, it was different. I have to make work to sell, I have to teach and find other things so that I don't starve as I'm preparing for the exhibition. So even the upcoming artists, that's what I've been sharing with them, that our country, there are many good artists, but the struggle is real. And in the past, most of us were art teacher trained. So you find that you get money from the classes, and then you are able to do your art. But if you are just an artist, then you might find that there are days which are good, you sell your art, and then there are days which are really bad, nobody's buying your art. What do you do? So for now, like even the upcoming artists, my advice is to them is go to school, find that thing which can put money on your table while you're doing your art. Then always going to work. There are some that maybe they've made it and can make, money continuously. To those ones, I'm saying congratulations. And now with the coming of computer design and all those things, I think some of the children, especially the ones that are doing pencil, they need to venture in some of those things so that their life can be better without struggle. That's why many people say, you want to be an artist now? Go and be a lawyer, you're going to starve, because the stories are real. Yes, the stories are real. It's not easy to be an artist in our environment. And also, one very important thing is some countries, the government has deliberately said government buildings, should have at work. These banks, not just the police were saying, can you support local artists by buying away? In our country, some businesses will buy, but you find maybe 3/4 of it is coming from outside. So you have that competition of work coming from outside, and then as artists, you're struggling. So
now,
yeah.
that reminds me. How have you tried to advocate for better policies in regards to create a favorable environment for you and other artists to grind?
We've talked about it. I think there's a free trade policy. You can't force people to do that. There's a free trade. But I think we need some kind of security. I'm saying it as somebody living in that situation. We own a gallery. And when COVID came, it was worse because now tourists are not coming, they're not buying. What do you do? And your locals, they are there, they are buying to support you, but how many times are people going to buy to support you? So some things really need to change. And also, we don't have, schools where you can really go and do, let's say I want to design, that's one design. Now things are coming up, but most of these young ones, how we learned in the past was, I belong to Zambia National Visual Arts Council. So when we started, we had that space back, and most of the workshops, tie-dye, batik, all those different crafts, we're learning them from the entire. So you need a space where someone can go, do batik, do tie-dye, do what specifically, so that you become very good in your trade. So that even when people are looking, they say, this product is really good, they compete, they top notch. So that also we are somehow lagging behind.
What are some innovations that artists can take up, especially in the digital space?
That one, the business here, I'm not very good in that area, but I've seen that there are many things that they can do. There's actually some artwork that they're doing that is coming from there. Even people that design cards, all those are artists, that's what we tell people. That's a career in art. Yeah, so there are actually many of them. I would like, I can say, especially the latest ones. I'm not sure how I can call them, but there are some that actually use a computer to draw. They are cartoons. Some people are making film. So I don't. There are so many things that they do.
Most of them visual artists. Many people are doing what you do.
Yes, the visual artists, they can actually combine their drawing with a computer and comes in 3D or whatever. Yes, they're doing all those things. That's what I'm saying. I'm not very competent with that. But I've seen that some of our colleagues, even their cartoons on TV, being used in adverts and all that. So that coming artists need to tap in that and study and see where can they, instead of doing maybe like us, other artists who have been doing. Yes. So there's a lot of opportunity actually. Yes.
The final remarks as we get to the end of the program, just
no, I would really love to thank the Sotran team for coming to, chat with me. I really appreciate, and also just let me trust, for hosting this, and also to encourage my fellow Zambians that can we be good custodians of our culture and traditions. Can we be good, custodians of the heritage? Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we have come to the end of the program. Remember to catch Nkhani Zathu every Tuesday at 13:30 to 14 hours on Pan-African Radio. This program invites creators, writers, authors, producers, readers, and other stakeholders to discuss matters aimed at narrative change, that is, in the African literary and arts sector. Sotran Publishers, in collaboration with African Radio, brings to you this program. Sotran Publishers is an independent publishing firm that seeks to develop, produce, and market Zambian and African literature so that we can all enjoy our beautiful stories. So catch us and look out for what Sotran has to offer. One more thing, Nkhani Zathu is currently open for sponsorship and any other forms of partnership. So reach out on 0763 465255 to see how we can all progress the Zambian